Hello, listeners. I'm Gilbert, and welcome to the first episode of the Chaparosa Roofing Podcast, where we bring you expert insight on roofing, warranties, and everything in between. Today, we're going to be diving into what makes Chaparosa Roofing stand out from other contractors, and why hiring the right contractor matters more than ever. Let's get down to business. Could you just introduce yourself and what you do here at the company?
Yeah, my name is Mike. I'm the operations manager here. I take care of sales, contracts, intake, customers, you name it.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, you wear many hats.
Wear many hats.
Yeah. So before we dive deep, let's just talk about the basics of roofing needs. When would a homeowner just need a repair?
Let's say you have like a minor leak around like a flashing or a chimney or something like that, or there's just like maybe some torn underlayment on tile. You're going to see a lot of repairs when it comes to tile roofs because the tile doesn't actually protect the roof. It's actually the underlayment underneath there. It's a lot easier to lift up tiles and replace the underlayment, patch it, do like a little 3-course patch, and then put the tiles back on, right? When you're doing a repair on shingles, now you got an ugly patch. It looks funny. So shingles, you're not going to see too many repairs on that. Same with like patio rolled roofing. When it comes to a patio, if you have like a puncture or something in it, every now and then you can get away with like filling it with some mastic or like a silicone coating and then coat the whole thing. And it's just a Band-Aid, you know. Roofs generally last 20, 25 years. Nowadays, they're going upwards of 30 years with Owens Corning. But if it's been about that time, then it's just time to get a new roof.
And when exactly would you need a full like re-roof?
I'd say anytime you see your roof and if it's looking shiny, that means your asphalt's gone off your shingles. If it's like your paper shot and your wood is showing, if the underlayment's burned through, obviously when windstorm comes through and just rips off half of it. Other cases are going to be when your insurance is forcing you into a new roof. That happens a lot too because in California they're just closing down insurance. They're just shutting everybody off.
Damn, dude.
So they'll tell the customer that they need to replace the roof, and you know a lot of times that's the case.
So there's a lot that goes into roofing. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the insurance is forcing you into this or that. When it comes to roof ventilation, why would you even need a roof vent in the first place?
So the roof vent's going to keep things like heat, moisture, and mold, things like that, out of your attic space. And if it's not letting it out, it's just sitting in your attic, getting hot and boiling. So imagine you have like a lighter, right? And you take your hand, you put the lighter on there, it's going to burn, right? All that heat's rising. So with shingles, it's just going to start making them warp and curl and deteriorate a lot faster. Same thing with the plywood underneath your decking, your sheeting. So if without that ventilation, all that heat and moisture is just sitting there, rotting your roof from the inside. So balanced ventilation system is very important. You're also going to need that if you want any kind of extended warranty for any manufacturer. They require a balanced ventilation system.
And can you follow up on what balanced ventilation means in detail? Because
Yeah.
I imagine that's a buzzword that people are like, okay, what did you just say?
Exactly. Yeah. I find myself explaining it a lot after I say balanced ventilation system. What's that? So a balanced ventilation system is equal parts of intake and exhaust. So imagine we have a sloped roof like this, right? So you need 50% going out and 50% coming in. So if you have a slope, we're going to put 25% over here, 25% over here. That's your intake. So it's all coming in. And then the exhaust, which is up top, we're going to have 50%. And that's going to let all the air circulate. So it's pulling in from the bottom and exhausting through the top. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that I got it now.
I can draw a picture.
Yeah, no, I had to let it like process a bit, but I'm all right. That makes sense. Yeah. I
So
understand.
that keeps a constant airflow going through because it's constantly sucking the air out, exhausting it, and it's just doing a full circle.
Okay. So with balanced ventilation systems, something you mentioned earlier was Owens Corning. Chaparosa Roofing is an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor. What does that status mean, and how does that tie into balanced ventilation, roof vents, and other parts of roofing?
So as a platinum preferred contractor, there's a couple things you have to do, right? And there's certain things that you have to do in order to get there. One, we're taking courses. Two, we are supplying nothing but Owens Corning products. And three, like I mentioned, that balanced ventilation system. So that's going to take you from, say, a 10-year manufacturer warranty for materials, like a material deterioration. That's what that's going to cover, up to a 50-year. And that's going to cover you for all your materials, your tear off, your disposal, even your labor, your workmanship. And because we're preferred, Owens Corning's willing to take that from us. So instead of us offering a 10-year workmanship guarantee on us, they're willing to take it up to 50 years. And that's just part of 1% of roofers that really have that. Now, what that does for the customer, so essentially, and we give it all at cost too. So that's a win-win for us. So say we were to close our doors down one day, right? We've been around well over 50 years. We're not going anywhere, but things happen, right? So if Owens Corning, or if we do get shut down, Owens Corning is going to back that. So say we close our doors tomorrow, you have a 100+ year manufacturer, billion-dollar company supporting your warranty for the remainder of 50 years.
So since Owens Corning can cover homeowners in the context of like warranties, are those warranties transferable when a homeowner sells a property?
So you have 20 years to transfer that warranty. So out of the 50, let's say on year 20 you want to transfer, say to a child or to the new homeowner or whoever the case may be, you still have 30 years left on that warranty.
Okay, so that's a great deal. That's
100%.
yeah, that's a great deal. Whoa.
When you look at the numbers, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it just pencils out. Makes a lot of sense. So since Chaparosa is an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, I imagine there's differentiators between Chap and other roofing companies and even unlicensed contractors. What makes Chaparosa stand out in, like, let's say, TPO roofing systems compared to those aforementioned roofing companies and unlicensed contractors?
Well, when you're looking at an unlicensed contractor, you're having permit problems. You're having problems where you can't get a hold of the guys. They're cutting corners on what materials they're using. We deal with nothing but the top quality materials. We're going to give you the best thing out there. We're going to do it right. And understandably, things can happen. And in that case, you want somebody that's going to answer their phone and come out and take care of you. And that's why we're still around. And that's why we've been around for over 50 years, because we honor our word and we do it right the first time. When you're looking at other companies, it's really hard to find, believe it or not. And I don't know why, but apparently some people just don't want to work.
And is that like tying into where other companies can't handle like large scale commercial roofing contracts?
They don't have the proper licenses to even get involved in that, especially when in commercial. You're not going to see too many unlicensed contractors unless they're doing it, under the table or something like that. Of course, everybody wants a good deal, but good work isn't cheap. Cheap work isn't good,
Yeah. So with that cheap work, that's often like quick fixes. It's like, oh, they're cutting corners, like you said.
Oh, absolutely. I went to a job yesterday. It was a company out in Barstow that used to be around. They kind of fell off, right? And the customer said, "Oh, hey, I just got a repair done, this and that," and it was a coating. Well, if you try to put a coating on dirt, it's not going to stick because nothing sticks to dirt. So one, they used the cheap coating. Two, they failed to clean the surface before they coated it, and that's the kind of thing that you're going to run into. So when you're using somebody that's not licensed or just doesn't want to do it right or not use the right materials, you're going to end up doing it twice. Why pay for two roofs when you can just do it right the first time?
Yeah, leading to more bigger and more expensive problems.
Exactly.
So my question is then, because you cut corners when you're not a platinum preferred contractor or you're not even licensed, TPO roofing, I imagine that's like a specialty type of job. Am I wrong in that?
TPO roofing you're going to find on commercial buildings. It's the best out there as far as commercial goes. I mean, you're not going to really find it too often on anything residential or anything like that. But to do it right, you need to have a fire resistance, you need to have cover board, you need to have slip sheet, you need to have everything there. And then whether you're going to do it like mechanically attached or like an adhered system is a big difference as well.
And is there any words or advice or tips that you can give residential homeowners? 'Cause advice in the context of how would they approach, like, would you go to this company? Would you go and try to educate yourself about a roof? Would you go specifically to us?
Well, of course, I would go to us. I'm a little biased, but you want somebody that's going to be licensed, insured, somebody that has the backing, has an establishment, somebody that's maybe even in your neighborhood or whatever. If you're in the Apple Valley area, obviously you want to keep your money home, right? But my biggest advice would be do your research. Make sure you trust the person that's giving you the roof. Make sure you ask questions, or if they're not making you ask questions, then they're just selling you. If you're not curious about what's going to be happening, you just want it done, then you're not really getting any contacts there. So like I ask my customers all the time that have seen other companies coming through, and they're talking about, oh, they offered me a 50-year. I'm like, oh, well, did they talk to you about ventilation? Did they explain to you what products you're getting? They said, no, they're just going to tear it off and put it back on. Nobody said anything about ventilation. I'm like, okay, so you're not sure what kind of shingles you're getting. You're not sure what kind of warranty you're getting. And let me tell you now that you're not getting any extended warranty, because if they didn't talk to you about ventilation, or they're not telling you what products they're using, those are the requirements to get that kind of thing. More advice as far as for a homeowner, it would be maintenance. I would suggest yearly, if not every other year, to do a roof maintenance. That's going to cover you sealing all your penetrations, getting the debris off your roof. A big problem area when you're looking at residential houses is going to be valleys. A lot of times, especially out here, people are with pine trees, right? You get a lot of debris built up in your valleys. Those pine needles are just accumulating water, getting heavy, and deteriorating that valley. So that's a big leak area that you want to kind of stay ahead of before it's too late.
And before we wrap up, do you have any closing statements for homeowners or business owners that are thinking about getting a new roof or repairs?
Give me a call. Let's go through it.
Yeah. Hey, it's straight to the point. Thank you so much, Mike. Big thanks to Mike Kane for joining us today. If you found today's episode helpful, insightful, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment down below. And if you're ready to protect your home, reach out to Chaparosa Roofing today.